All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome back. How we doing? NASDAQ, big overnight move. Look at that overnight move. My goodness. So overnight sesh. Let's kind of recap here. Overnight sesh looks beneath that key area of support, 24K, 23,900. We've been talking about this low from November 21st for the past few weeks and how significant this area is right through here. Basically, price needs to sustain beneath this level and you'll start to see this range break down. So we have the first look beneath that level, the first little blip beneath that level. Some news hits the market and price is right back into the near-term range. So we continue to see the same theme here. Essentially, price is going nowhere. Just means that it's range bound, but still with big volatility, still a headline driven market. We still have a lot of headlines that are moving this market. And so price, I mean, we're just still within this structure. We are still within this structure, within a intermediate term, higher time frame, neutral backdrop till we start to see some acceptance beneath 23,900. That's been my approach for the past few weeks. That'll continue to be my approach until we start to see this structure show any sort of real shift. Now, as far as the actual gap this morning, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I want to see how price responds to prior day high. That's our nearest reference point right here near 24,500. And that should give us a good clue as to what to expect for this session. If sellers are able to defend 24,900, I'll look at the action down here into 350 for a potential bounce and then down into 240 for a potential bounce. If both of those levels fail, I would expect 24K can trade again, the prior day low area, the big psychological level down there. Now, if we see acceptance above prior day high, if sellers fail to defend that prior day high, we've got a pretty nice overnight pre-market structure to look at here, right? Some resistance into 24,600. 24,700. I mean, I'll treat this like a 100-point zone up here with the overnight high as well. But that's pretty much to the game plan. There's the open, got an open just pretty much right at the prior day high, 491. There we go. And let's get our RTH profile set up. There it is. We do have a 10 a.m. data print this morning. You have ES up above the prior day high as well. Oil is down pretty big. Oil's down almost 8%. There's a retest at prior day high. See extended hours value area high. So I'd like to see action above prior day high. And if we get, some sort of market structure there near prior day high, that can definitely present a potential entry. Look at that 5-minute RTH chart. This totally erases all of Friday's downtrending day. How was the wedding? Wedding was great. It was a beautiful weekend in Southern California, that's for sure. Although I forgot it was spring break. So it was pretty crazy. It was very busy. It's a little consolidation right off the open. Looks like that is last week's volume point of control right through here at 460. See the retrace here on this news move. Okay. Starting the morning with a little barcode. Pre-market move like that calls for barcode. Yeah, that's not too uncommon. Volume's already below average. Patience. Monday morning. Monday morning patience. Nasdaq coming back into the lows. See if the lows crack, I'll be looking at the reaction down there to 24,350. See if we get a bounce in that spot. There's the S&P right there into prior day high. ES. Check out RTY. Near the prior day high. Down beneath though. And let's see YM. The Dow, oh, the strongest of them all, well up above prior day high. Here's NQ session highs. So up into 24,530. And a little uptick in volume. That's better. Let's see if it sustains. Couple more minutes in this area, and you may see that extended hours volume point of control shift up into this area as well. Fresh highs being made. It's got to be 24,550 area, 545. Okay. ES with a little bounce versus that prior day high. Looks like nothing, but that's 20 points right there on ES. Nice little bounce. For the S&P, we're staying patient right now. Still cash this morning. First day back after a few days off. You never want to rush into anything. As always, just letting the setup come to us. I think your RTY hasn't rolled over. Let's see. I just use whatever the whatever the default is here on TradingView. Looks good. RTY bumping into prior day high. And Q, a little retest into the intraday structure there. See, did our volume, yeah, volume point of control shifted. Nothing that is super compelling yet. Price now doing a decent job sustaining above prior day high, which is the main reference point I'm watching this morning. Fresh highs being made. This is a really wide structure. So if you haven't dropped size this morning, think about it. Definitely think about it. Risk points are going to be wider. If you trade with structure, that is. Nice uptick in volume right there. We do have some Trump speak ongoing. So always headline risk. Yeah, we are just now about to be 15 minutes into the session with a 10 a.m. data print coming up in another 15. Personally, still cash here. No trades yet. Look at that tape. Jittery. It's got the jitters. Back into 500. And there's your opening 15-minute bar closure. Closes as a perfect doji. Indecision. So there's the retest prior day high. See if we could sneak in here. There it is. Oh, there it is. Get the peel. What's going on with my mouse? There's the second one off. So considering how wide the structure is, I'll leave this one with the full stop on the runner until price makes a new high, and then I'll move it to a little better than break even. See if we could catch the move into 600. It's crazy because on this screen, that looks like nothing is already 30 points. 30 yoints. Not a lot happening on the 5 minute. 5 minute just looks like barcode. 1 minute does for the most part too. Ethan, APT catching some shorts this morning during the overnight. Yeah, I saw that. Some good pre-market shorts there. That was nice. See if Trump is still going. Yes. Trump's still speaking. FYI. Volume pretty light though. Volume below average. You have some kind of isolated upticks in volume. And as of right now, price cannot really get above 550. I want to see a decisive break of 550 and then up into session highs. Okay. I'll make a new high and I'll lift the trail. Till then, let it work. Look at that tape, just jittery. New high of day. So that's a guaranteed dub there. Let's see how this next 30-second candle shapes up. Would want to see price sustain the highs, not come back into the structure. Sustain the highs, target 600 up into 700. It's better. Come on, a little more. I'm gonna lift this a little bit more, just beneath 550. You can see some of that pre-market structure, a little bit of resistance right through here. So as it gets into 600, I like to trail a little bit tighter. We'll go just beneath 575. Oh, taken out right there. Not bad. We'll take the 50 points. First trade of the day. Again, the main idea was wanting to see how price responded to prior day high. We let that structure, that intraday structure, kind of develop. At first, price really struggles with prior day high, right? Then breaks above. You see it hold as support, makes a new high, holds as support again. That's the entry. Then makes a new high again. Probably can't even see that. Let's change the color here. Just make it like a nice bright blue. There's kind of the path of price. It's choppy, breaks above, retest, new high, retest, new high again. Simple as that. No market structure based entry. And now we'll see what the next opportunity looks like. I like to see price continue to make some fresh highs into 10 a.m. Maybe we get a break above 24,600 with an entry against 24,600. Maybe, maybe not. Gabe got that same trade in ES. Yeah, ES looked a little better. That initial test versus prior day high. Nice work. So, kind of looking at the price action here, if I didn't move my trail up, I would have been trailed right there anyway. So I'm actually pretty happy I moved my trail up, captured an additional 25 points. Here's fresh highs being made. And here's 24,600. So if you're still in that long, definitely a good spot to reduce. Ethan trailed out, Pratik trailed out. Nice trades. Yeah, we're dealing with wide structures here. So the trails are gonna be tough. Take what you can get. Rather start the day trailed out than stopped out. Yeah, I'm with you there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Build a little favorable momentum. About 5 minutes till 10. We do have a low impact data print at 10 a.m. Not expecting anything with that. Jeff, 2 for 2. Nice work. So NASDAQ initial rejection there at 24,600. And yeah, now I'll wait till 10 a.m. just 4 minutes before we put on another trade. Assuming we see another setup. Not the volume. mostly average to below average. And 90 seconds till 10. So that's just another, looks like another just higher low within this sequence here. Again, intraday structure is not the cleanest, but basically you have some consolidation to start the morning beneath prior day high. Here's prior day high, price breaks above, retest prior day high, fresh highs, another retest, another higher low, fresh highs. It's kind of where we're at. So again, looking at 600 post 10, see if we see any sort of 10 a.m. reversal time or if buyers can continue this move. So far, there's pretty much a gap and go morning. There's 10 a.m. Currently trading 24,600 NASDAQ. See our 30-minute closed with a big bullish bar. So a higher time frame shows a lot of resistance right through here. That monthly open is pretty significant. See what that 1 month candle is looking like. 8 days left on it. Last 3 or 4 weeks, the weekly bars have big wicks on them. Does this week continue that theme? Who has a crystal ball? ES is now plus 40 points from the prior day high. Yeah, that's a nice move. It's a nice bounce there on ES. Ethan NQ to 30K. Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Retirement accounts would be happy. That's for sure. Okay, NASDAQ fresh highs. So I like to see acceptance above 24,600. Ray, need the shirt? I'll do another merch run. Hopefully this summer. See if we get another run of some shirts going. Burn the ships too. All right. So Nasdaq struggling with 24,600 yet again. This is a pretty slow morning so far. All things considered, pretty slow. I mean, pre-market sesh, we had a 900-point move in about 5, 6, 7 minutes. So question is, do we even break basically this structure right there here? 350 by 750, 760. Crazy volatility. Yeah, we've had some pretty big volatility these past few weeks. Nasdaq just right into volume point of control again. Volume's improving. Rich, don't need the crystal ball, just a broken slot machine. Heck yeah, love that. Yes, sir. Staying very patient right now. I look at either another reaction into prior day high or up above 24,600 with some structure. But if this ends up being a one trade morning, I won't be upset about it. Can't be mad about that. How's everyone's morning so far? There's not a lot to do with this. Not a lot to do with this current action. It is fairly choppy. Directionally, it is higher, but it's fairly choppy. Josh, cash, 1 for 1, B link. Critique, just the one trade. PJ 2 for 2, one short, one long. Nice. Hi, Jeff. Nice work. Nice start to the week, sir. Ethan 1 for 1, watching for a bit longer, but may need to take the dub and walk. Yeah, I like that idea. Might be with you there. Mike, one small green. Rich 3 for 3. Solid. All right. All right. Volume just fading. Fading again. Retested the highs. So retest at 24,600 right there. Red to million. I didn't even see what you said. Looks like you got filtered. Let's see. Confidence equals unrealized PNL times hopium. Your position is strong, but mind is weak. All right, buddy. All right. NASDAQ retest of the highs. There's your new high of day. Again, the question is, can we see acceptance above 600? And until then, just sit with my one trade. Just sit with it. Into the VIP club they go. Yes, sir, Ray. That's an easy one. Very slight fresh high. It's looking a little better here as far as time spent above 24,600. So let's see how these highs are going to be treated. Basically, right here. All right, Ray. We'll see you in the tank, sir. Okay, fresh highs, very slight fresh highs. We'll see if this pre-market lower high right there here is broken. That's just about 650. Get the initial high, lower high, lower high. CL down 10% this morning. Wow. Bitcoin moving today as well. 5.5% there in BTC. That might be all she wrote. Almost 1 hour into the sesh. I'm not loving the drift. Not a big fan of the drift higher. A lot of the best ops we've seen the past couple of weeks have aligned with big, big, big R ball. Like right after a headline, get the setup, place the trade, done. And sometimes those have been in the afternoon. So Pratik might be a one and done morning. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. So price moving above that 650 level, that market structure level from the pre-market sesh right through here. All right, Ethan. Take care, man. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. And here comes a monthly open, 682, good reference point in close alignment with 24,700 level of interest, structure based level from the higher time frames. There we go. Opens up a little bit. And there's your monthly open. I want to see this next 30-minute bar closure here in about 5 minutes, and we may call it. Might just call it a morning with the one trade. Little rejection there versus the monthly open. You can see that pre-market structure right through there as well. Volume definitely improving. Above average for time of day. Nasdaq starting to pull in a bit. We'll see how 600 is going to be treated. 24,600. Chevron CEO speaking right now, moving the price of oil. NQ's into value area high for the regular sesh there. 24,610. I like a little bit lower. I'd like to see some action versus 600. There's that next 30-minute bar and Q610 Good volume. Good volume stays. See if 600 is actually going to trade. So right now, price just kind of retesting previous intraday highs. Might be being too picky here, but I like just a little bit lower into 600, bounce from 600. And up into 650 now. So that idea might be gone. In which case, I will likely call it a morning. Just take our one trade, just move on. Overall, pretty happy with that. Main focus this morning was prior day high. Stayed patient right off the open. Let the intraday structure develop. It became more clear as price was showing acceptance above prior day high. You have the fresh high being made at 942. Price comes in retest after having already retested and held. Another retest and hold. And we'll look for 600. And you can see the executions here. So not quite into 600. That's decent. Decent for a Monday morning. Action is not the cleanest. Mike feels like summer. Everybody's gone. Yeah, you gotta. Seems like you gotta pick your spots carefully. Gotta pick those spots carefully. Make sure that volume is aligned. On that note, I think I'll call it right there. We'll take the one and done. We will take it. Let's see if APT has any other trades this morning. So APT just had two very nice shorts from pre-market. Didn't even need to catch the news. Two nice trades there, YM and Q. Solid. Solid, solid. Decent start to the week. We'll be live all week. Thank you guys for your time today. We'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank. What I'm going to be watching for is sustained action above 24,600, and I would entertain entries against that 24,600 if we see a real retest there with volume. I need some elevated relative volume. But right now, the structure, look at the intraday structure. What is it showing us? It's pretty much pointing higher, right? So we'll see if this ends up being a higher low and then fresh highs into 700 or not. But that's what we're working with. Oil showing a little bit of a bounce. Indices have recently been inversely correlated with oil, so you may want to keep an eye on that. I'll call right there. Hope you guys had a good morning. Thank you for your time, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care.